My name is Adrienne Foxwell. I was 23 years old when I walked through my front door with a fresh surgical wound under my sweater and a hospital discharge folder pressed against my chest. Every step sent a sharp pull through my stomach, but I forced myself to stand straight, because I already knew sympathy was not waiting for me inside that house. The moment the door opened, my mother didn't look at my pale face, my hospital bracelet, or the prescription bag in my trembling hand. She just glanced toward the kitchen and said, "You're finally back. Stop with the act and get dinner ready." I had been cut open less than 24 hours earlier, and she was pointing at the stove like I had simply returned late from a shopping trip. My brother Preston leaned against the wall with a smirk and said, "Don't fake exhaustion just to dodge chores." My father stood a few feet behind them. He saw the hospital papers in my hand. He saw the bandage under my sleeve. And he still chose to look away. That silence hurt worse than the incision. For years, my life inside the Foxwell house felt less like being a daughter and more like being hired help that nobody had to pay. I was studying nursing and picking up pharmacy shifts to cover my own expenses. I didn't mind working hard. What I minded was coming home after 12-hour days to find dishes in the sink, laundry on the stairs, and my mother scrolling shopping sites like the mess around her had nothing to do with her. Preston was 26, unemployed, and permanently attached to his gaming headset. My father came home tired every evening and treated every conflict like a storm he could survive by staying very still. When I asked for help, he said, "Just keep the peace, Adrienne. You know how your mother gets." About a week before everything exploded, I started feeling a sharp pain on the right side of my stomach. I ignored it at first, but it kept returning, and worse each night. One evening, the room swayed and I gripped the counter just to stay standing. My mother looked up from her phone, not with concern but irritation. "Don't start that dramatic breathing. I need you to season the chicken before 6. The night I ended up in the emergency room, my family had gone out to a steakhouse without me. My mother left a chore list taped to the refrigerator. At the bottom, in her neat handwriting, no excuses. The pain had become unbearable by then. I called my mother. No answer. I called my father. Voicemail. I texted the family group chat. "I think something is really wrong. I need help." My mother replied, "We are eating. Stop trying to pull attention." Preston sent a laughing emoji. "If you can text, you can clean." My father said nothing. I ordered a rideshare and went to the hospital alone. The diagnosis came fast. Acute appendicitis. Emergency surgery. Immediately. Before they took my phone, I texted my mother. "I'm in surgery. Please tell Dad." Her reply, "Stop embarrassing yourself. We'll talk when you get home." Preston added, "So who's cleaning tomorrow?" My father wrote 3 words. "Listen to doctors." No call. No panic. "No, I'm coming." My friend Mina arrived the next morning with soup and fury in equal measure. While she was with me, my mother called. Mina put it on speaker. "Are you awake? The kitchen is unacceptable and Preston has nothing clean to wear." Mina ended the call. Then she asked me one question. "If this were a patient in our clinical rotation, what would you call what her family is doing?" I knew the answer. Neglect, exploitation, abuse. Words I could identify in a textbook, but had spent years refusing to apply to myself. Mina handed me my phone. I called Sterling Westbrook, a family trustee who had once told me, "If you ever need real help, call me directly." I told him everything. He didn't interrupt once. When I finished, he said, "Keep every message. Don't warn them." "I'm coming." Sterling arrived and drove me home without calling ahead. When my mother opened the door and saw me, pale, barely standing, discharge folder in hand, she tossed an apron toward me. "Get dinner ready." The apron hit my arm and fell to the floor. Then Sterling stepped into the doorway. He didn't shout. He didn't rush. He simply stood there, with the cold patience of a man who had just confirmed everything he came to see. My mother froze. Preston's smirk disappeared. My father went gray. Sterling looked at the apron on the floor. "Did you just order a woman who left surgery this afternoon to cook for you?" Nobody answered. He closed the door behind him. "Sit down, all of you. We are going to discuss what has been happening in this house." What followed was not a conversation. It was a reckoning. Sterling showed every message on the television screen. He read the discharge instructions out loud. No lifting, no bending, rest required. He opened months of financial records, trust money spent on designer lamps, luxury skincare, and catering, while I worked double shifts and cleaned until midnight. Then he opened a legal document. "Effective immediately. Valerie, your trust card is frozen. Preston, your car will be collected tomorrow morning. Howard, your financial authority is revoked. 2 days later, Sterling moved me into a quiet apartment near campus. He paid 6 months of rent and said, "This is not charity. This is recovery time. He'll finish school and decide who deserves access to you." The real revenge was never the frozen credit card or the repossessed car. The real revenge was finally understanding. I was never the weak one. I was the one holding everything together, while they called me dramatic for bending under the weight. Boundaries are not cruelty, asking for help is not betrayal, and telling the truth doesn't destroy a family. It only reveals what was already broken.